Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a really cool video. It's going to be about farming for profit. I'm going to be sharing with you how much money the flowers on my farm could potentially make me each week and at the end of the 14-week growing season. I'm going to show you the exact figures and calculations so that you can see the profit that I can make and do it yourself and figure out the profit that you can make. Definitely stick around to the end because I'll be showing you guys how a small backyard space can make you an amazing side hustle with just a short 14-week growing season. All right, guys, so let's get started. So just a little bit about me. I own and operate a You-Pick flower farm in Zone 7B, Long Island, New York. This is my third growing season. And this season, I wanted to find out how much money my farm could potentially make me if I were to cut as many blooms as I can on what the flowers have to offer. Okay guys, so first I'm gonna calculate my farm and how many flowers it could possibly produce each week. So I have 12 rows on my farm, which are 100 feet by 3 feet. I did these calculations based on an 8-inch spacing. Now some of the flowers you can fit 6 inches and some of them you can fit 12, so I kind of rounded it to 8 inches. So that's how I'll be calculating it out. So if you do calculations and your plants are 12 inches apart, all of them, you could do the calculations that way. But that's how I'm going to be doing it for this video. Okay guys, so when I ran the calculations for 8-inch spacing on my farm for 12 rows by 3 feet, it came out to 3,600 square feet. That means that I have a total of 8,000 plants on my farm. And this is accurate because last year I grew 8,000 seedlings in my grow room, so I know my numbers were correct when I did these calculations. So I looked up how many blooms each plant produces every week during a growing season. So I kind of looked up how many blooms cosmos, zinnias, all my main flowers, Rebecca, produce each week in the farm. And what I came to see is that each plant produces about 2 blooms a week. So this number may be more or it may be less depending on drought, different things, but an average of 2 blooms a week, so that's my calculation. 8,000 plants by 2 blooms a week is 16,000 flowers per week. Now, if I were to make bouquets with 15 stems on each bouquet, how many bouquets could I possibly make out of the blooms that I have per week? So my calculation came out to 1,066 bouquets I could possibly making on my farm per week. Now, if you are thinking, whoa, that is a lot of bouquets. It is. That means you'd be cutting every single bloom that was on your farm. You'd be using everything. And we know that that's not really how it works. But this video is going to talk about, I'm going to tell you how many, my real numbers of what my goal is, but I'm telling you right now what you could actually produce on your farm. So what are the actual numbers? Okay, so that means for 1,000 bouquets that I could possibly be making, my number would be $26,650 per week. Whoa, that is a lot of money for my little farm because I'm really under an acre of square footage that I'm growing on. And for a 14-week season, you guys doing the calculations, I can make $373,000. Whoa, that's a lot of money. Now I know you're probably saying there's no way you could possibly make that. Well, technically there is because my plants can put out that many blooms, but you have a problem selling them at retail because you would need to be selling 1,000 bouquets a week, and that's the issue with flower farming because doing 1,000 bouquets a week is really, really tough. That is something that I'm sure we would love to strive for. Wouldn't that be a great growing season? We'd be profiting like crazy if that were the truth, but that's not the truth. So I have the potential to make 1,000 bouquets, but what is my actual number of bouquets that is my goal to make me a nice profit? So now I'm going to tell you that number right now. So guys, my goal for my farm per week is to have 100 bouquets. And my average price that I want to sell for is $30. So if you do the calculations on that, that would be $3,000 per week. And in a 14-week growing season, that would equate to $42,000, which would be a really nice number for 14 weeks of producing flowers on the farm. So those are the realistic numbers of what I would like to do on the farm. But now we're gonna get to something more personal to you. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking about, well, I have a small backyard space, I wanna do this as a side hustle, I'm gonna run those numbers right now for you. And I think with a side hustle, you're gonna be surprised at how much money you could actually make by just having a small space. So if your backyard can hold even a small amount of plants, this is what you want to be listening to. So let's say you have a 20-foot space by 4-foot space to grow on. I did the calculations on that, and you can fit 80 plants in that small space. Now go out and measure, because that is not a lot of space to be growing 80 plants on. And I think most people, if you're not living in a real city place and you're kind of suburban, can have that kind of space. Okay guys, so if you do the calculations and you have 80 plants and they give off 2 blooms per week, you would have 160 blooms. And if you wanted to make bouquets with 15 flowers in each bouquet, you can make only 10 bouquets per week. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you want to charge $25 per bouquet, you'd be making $250 for the week. And in a 14-week growing season, you would be making $3,500 on that very short 14-week growing season. And I think that's an awesome side hustle to have, because selling 10 bouquets really isn't that difficult. So how could you sell 10 bouquets? You could post in your Facebook marketplace group, you can sell at a farmer's market. I think selling 10 bouquets is something that we can all probably do if we just put a little brain energy into how we could sell those bouquets. Even friends and family might support you and buy your bouquets. So I think it's something that's definitely within reach if you want to start a small scale business, flower farming in your own backyard. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if we get really good at marketing our farm, I could be making $373,000 a year. Hey, you never know, right? Something to strive for. All right guys, so it's almost spring. Get your seeds ready, get going, go out there and make some money on your flowers. Bye guys.